All right, welcome back. Kane Nice Show. Hey, shout out to Jason. Appreciate that intro music. Always gets me going. But while I'm thinking about it, hit subscribe, give that thumbs up, leave some comments. Let us know what you think. So, we're going to do a little unorthodox this week. Kane, man, let's start with NFL Player of the Week player. Who you got, Mike?
Man, come on, man. You really going to ask me that? Who I got? Who did the NFL say the NFC Player of the Week was? My man, Carson Wentz wagon. Come on, man. Come on.
That's right. Got those W's for Wentz wagon.
268 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 63 yards rushing, including the Houdini play that's going to be forever known as Houdini in Philadelphia when he just bust out of the pack when they thought they had him sacked, man. Awesome play. Yeah. Played very well that night. Carson Wentz, not only is he getting our Player of the Week, he got the official NFL NFC Player of the Week, and also is the front runner. Excuse me, I saw the Vegas gambling odds. Only Tom Brady is ahead of him in the MVP vote right now.
Wow.
Pretty good. I don't know how I feel about having my quarterback being the MVP in the league, man. I kind of make it feel like we focusing on team, but, I'll take it right now. I'm so happy about my team.
Well, and, he definitely is. Last year, you saw the potential, right? Last year, he would escape, and then he'd do something stupid like throw across his body toward the middle of the field, and he'd get picked off or something like that. This year, he's making better throws. So not only do you see athleticism, but you see just better decision-making. I think second in the offense, obviously coming from a D2 school, he's just made ridiculous strides. And it still amazes me that he went to a Division II school given his size.
Makes you wonder if he was that size when he first got there, but who knows?
And then I guess also maybe maybe the state or wherever,
because he is actually from North Dakota, so right. nobody brags about North Dakota high school football that much.
Right. Right. Not too many college coaches making that trek to the cold weather to see these dudes play, right?
Exactly. Right, so big shout out to my boy. Eagles pull it off, 6-1. First place overall in the NFL. Best record in the NFL, number one seed in the NFC.
Let's not forget the touchdown play where he had to make a tough throw, getting hit, find some man on the sideline. Great throw. Gave the run back a chance to beat the DB. But anyway, so shout out to Carson Wentz. Shout out to the Eagles, man. Shout out to the Browns for making it possible for us to get Carson Wentz. So we appreciate you. Forever be grateful. Every time y'all change quarterbacks 3 times in a game, I just appreciate what you did for us even more. So shout out to the Cleveland brass, the Cleveland decision makers. Keep doing your thing. Help us get
much appreciated.
Help us get
much appreciated
next year. All right. Please. Who is my college player of the week? He gets the icy trophy. So shout out to Carson. Shout out to Saquon Barkley. Hey, keep checking your mailbox, players.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see if he gets it this week. If he earns it this week, then trust me, he'll really earn it this week.
Aw, man. Ohio State ain't got nothing for them.
Okay.
Michigan was the greatest defense on planet Earth. Defense on third down and blah, blah, blah.
No. Now you gonna get Michelle O'Neal mad at us now. Come on now.
They kept saying it. They're the top defense in the country on third down.
But you got to play first and second too.
They were coming into the game. And Nicole know what's up. She know Penn State laid that smack down. She know Barkley is still scoring on her. She wake up about 3 a.m. Barkley sweating, And then she mad because Cam been playing like doo-doo lately after the Eagles stole their heart. People keep telling me he only put up 3 points. Actually, he really put up like negative 11 points if you count the turnovers that turned into touchdowns.
Thanks, Cam. Appreciate it.
He's so aggravated he doesn't even want to answer questions. All right, but So we're gonna, like I said, do things a little bit different this week. So we're gonna get into strange news. Then we're gonna come back with a special guest. All right. And I promised you guys that when, throughout the season, as the Eagles play other teams, we're gonna bring fans or experts on those teams. So yes, we did find somebody who's willing to admit to being a San Francisco fan, but he would only agree to come on if he got to work. Okay. So anyway, let's get to it. All right. So Kane, what strange news do you have? And I know you're from Florida, so you see strange stuff all the time.
Well, this didn't even actually happen in Florida. This actually happened in Montreal, up in Canada.
Oh,
okay. Get this. All right, this just happened about 3 weeks ago.
Did this involve?
It wasn't even 3 weeks ago. That's when I heard about the story, though.
Okay.
Apparently, there's a man driving home from work in his car. He's singing the song CNC Music Factory. Everybody dance now. Everybody dance. And he's driving down the road and he screamed on one of those notes. How about he gets pulled over and the police give him a ticket for $117 for screaming in your car? Now, how crazy is that? First of all, when you get pulled over and you think you've done nothing, well, I always think that. Why would you think they would give you a ticket for screaming in your car?
In your own car.
In your own car.
Scream that.
He said that the officer came to the window and asked him, "Did you scream loudly?" And he told him yes. He's listening to his favorite song. And they actually wrote him a ticket for $117. They checked his license, checked his registration, came back up there and gave him a ticket, for screaming in his car.
So was the driver named Rory?
No, unfortunately, that would have made the story better, though. Trust me, that would have made it better.
If it was our guy Rory from the Mitchell Report Unleashed, who was listening to CNC Music Factory, yeah, that would.
Yeah. Now he said he was going to contest it in court. They haven't gone to court yet, but apparently, screaming in your car in Canada will get you a ticket. Mm-hmm. So, in America, if you're black, it might get you shot, but in Canada, it gets you a ticket. So we already see where Canada's already outworking this on this system again. They already got, health care. We ain't got no health care. Now, well, at least you get a fine and not a bullet in your butt in Canada for screaming in your car. So
I hope that this court proceeding is on TV somewhere. That's my only hope.
Hey, they put OJ on TV. Anything's possible.
All right, so on the theme of drivers and strange news, I have a little strange news. A gentleman in Oklahoma, John Wayne, I shouldn't give out his last name, I guess. So we'll just call him John Wayne, was pulled over by the police, local police. He apparently had greased his whole body in Vaseline, and the only thing he was wearing when he got pulled over was a thong.
Now, first of all, that's gonna mess up your seats, player.
And it said there was a almost empty can or a container of Vaseline on the passenger seat, and that when he handed the officer his license, it was so greasy he offered the officer a towel to clean his hands and clean the license off. The officer refused the towel. So I know you're gonna get into the rest of the story, about what he said he was doing or any of that.
Yeah, I don't think I want to know.
Yeah, exactly. But that's our strange news for the week. So, in Canada, something strange, somebody screaming. In America, there's a guy riding around pretty much naked, greased up. So,
every time I watch Family Guy and they have the death screen, the greased up man, I'm gonna think about this story.
And he did get arrested for driving with a revoked license. Apparently, he had not renewed his license since 1985.
Probably, what did he do? Spend all his money on Vaseline? I mean, what did he do?
You probably couldn't walk up in the DMV with just a thong on, so he just never went.
I don't know. I've been to the DMV on some strange days. I don't tell you. You can see some things up in there.
All right. So anyway, I want everybody to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and stay tuned. We'll come back with a special guest, and we're going to talk some more football and talk some other happenings in the world of sports. All right. So, hey, appreciate you guys tuning in. Leave a comment. All right. Oh, also, we're going to answer Twitter questions. So stay tuned for all that stuff. Everybody who sends Twitter question, we got you. We shout you out. All right. We out. Well, we're not really out. We're just pausing. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, so welcome back to Kane and I Show. As you can see, we have a special guest. I guess you'd say a mystery guest. All right. As you can tell, he is a San Francisco fan, so it's probably why he's wearing a mask. References to the 80s on his jacket, of course. Probably got on a Joe Montana T-shirt or something.
Straight white beater, baby. Straight white beater.
All right. But, of course, we got Kane, and, I'm your man Ice. So we're back at you. We're going to start out with some Eagles, 49ers talk. We're going to talk a little NBA, a little strange news, a little college basketball news going on out there. So, and, give you our players of the week. Of course, mine is called the So Icy Award. I think Kane calls his the Kane chain or something. I'm surprised he's not wearing the Miami turnover chain. And then
it's on order right now, man. It'll be here before next weekend.
And then we got the Black Dominican Russian, my man Diego, who I know he just added that Russian piece because he's trying to avoid getting deported. All right, I know the game because I'm doing the same thing. But anyway, so let's get to it, man. I'm trying not to laugh, but the mask is hilarious, right? All right, the Eagles, of course, best team in the NFC, record-wise, take on the worst team in the NFC, record-wise, the San Francisco 49ers, in Philadelphia at 1 o'clock. So you got West Coast team coming east, 1 p.m., We know how that normally works out. So everything is stacked against the Niners. And that's what scares me, to be honest with you. So,
come on, man.
Or should we refer to you as Rey Mysterio? Tell us why the 49ers will have a chance on Sunday.
All right. Well, first of all, I appreciate y'all, bringing me back on the show. What's up, good people? It's Diego Barishnikov, as he said, the Black Dominican Russian, coming to y'all straight from AA Sports. On one half of this AA Sports team, straight sports, no chaser. You can find us on Twitter, YouTube, Spreaker. You can catch our shows there.
Instagram,
Facebook, pretty much every social media platform, but we're mainly on, Twitter, YouTube, and Spreaker, where you'll find most of our content. First and foremost, cut the BS. It doesn't matter if this game was at 1 o'clock, 8:30, after church. It doesn't matter. And I knew this was a setup because I'm like, why they want to bring me on here? Knowing we're 0-7, going up against probably maybe one of the best teams arguably in the league right now. So that's why I got the mask and the whole other thing. So I had to bring a little extra pizzazz to it because right now it's trash.
As a huge wrestling fan, I got to rep the Suplex City. I can appreciate the mask. Shout out to Ric Flair for kicking out of death. That's hard to do. I love the mask personally. Now Kane, he's a little iffy sometimes. Try to pretend he's not a wrestling fan, but anyway.
If you're going to be, I saw a Groupon yesterday. I think was it F now? WWE. They're coming to Atlanta sometime soon for Monday Night Raw.
All right, I might have to crash on your couch then.
So that means Eric and his son will be coming south. So get a couple of seats for them and hook them up with a hotel or something, or a room out back, because the boys are coming.
Well, my son is WWE champion. You'll want tickets. You'll want T-shirts.
I mean, I'll hang around it just for groupie purposes, you know. We'll kick you.
There'll be none of that. There'll be none of that in this.
I just want to be in the pictures and look good. That's all I want to care about. So
you just want to hold a belt, right?
I'm gonna be the hype man. Yeah, let me hold a belt and talk junk.
All right. So anyway, real quick, everybody, make sure right now you go to Twitter, search AA Sportscast. All right, and go ahead and follow them. All right, and so you will get some awesome content from my guys, AA Sports. I love the show. I was watching earlier today. I had to get a good laugh. You mentioned Full Force, Charlemagne the God, like references all over the place, House Party. So not only sports, but just all around entertainment. So make sure you check out that show and make sure you follow them on Twitter. Because, hey, it's my favorite YouTube show. So I want you guys to check it out too, right? And enjoy it. So let's get to Twitter questions. Speaking of Twitter, so thanks to a lot of our followers, we got some great questions. So Marty Ober, O-B-E-R, at Marty O-B-E-R, I guess that's Ober. So his question is, for you, Diego, how serious are the Niners about pursuing Kirk Cousins as a free agent? And also, how do you view Sam Darnold's potential as an NFL QB? So would you rather have Cousins or Darnold?
Okay, well, I'm going to start with the easiest part of that question first. Sam Darnold, I've been saying it for I don't know how many weeks now. He needs to come back to school, so I don't want no parts of that right now. Okay. I think it'll be best for him anyway, especially the way that season has went. He's kind of hinted from the beginning that he may come back anyway. I remember some things coming out right when the NFL season started about the Jets possibly tanking for him. And, he came out like, nah, I don't think you guys should tank for me. And in the way he's playing right now with the plethora of quarterbacks that are supposed to be pretty good prospects coming out this year, I think it would be in his best interest to come back next year where maybe the competition is not as great and he has an opportunity to work on his game, because his decision-making right now, there's a lot to be left there. So I don't want any parts of Sam Darnold. Now, Kirk Cousins, considering we're going to have over, I think, $100 million in cap room, we should have the most cap room next year.
Wow.
We'll have more than enough money to, to back the Brinks truck up and probably overpay, quite frankly, for him, because he's not elite in my book. But I think he's a better than average quarterback. I think the floor for him is probably, 8 and 8, 9 and 7. With a ceiling potential to get you maybe 10 or 11 wins. So I think him, coming back with Shanahan, we're going to have to get some more offensive weapons because the receivers right now are garbage. So we're going to have to do some things on the offensive side of the ball to get everything cohesive, so we can get a quarterback that's going to be able to be upright. But I think we are going to go after Cousins. I think it's the worst kept secret in football right now. I don't see Kirk Cousins and the Redskins working it out.
Right. And I guess it would make sense. If you got Cousins, you lock in that position, then you're going to have a high draft pick more than likely. So you can get, I guess, a tackle to protect him or, I don't know, maybe
we got Joe Staley right now. He's been there for some years, so he's going to be on a decline probably sooner than later. But that whole the entire offensive line can use some help. We've got Trent Brown, who's supposed to be pretty good, but he's often injured. In the interior of the line, I would like for us to get back to where we were with Harbaugh and company when we had, your likes of Mike Upati, and those guys who solidified that line so we can run the ball. I'm not too worried about necessarily having to have the number 1 pick. because I think it'll be more than enough talent there, for us to do something with, or maybe even flip that pick into more picks, kind of like we did last year when we appreciate the Bears, calling us to give us all those picks to move up one slot for a guy that we weren't even going to take anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
get a quarterback who doesn't have to throw the ball. That's amazing.
Yeah, 4 completions in a whole game. Boy, that's something else right there.
That's Tim Tebow-ish, ain't it?
It is.
I actually saw a stat today that said there's only been 3 quarterbacks winning the game, completing less than 5 passes. Trubisky, Tebow, and the other one was Chris Winkie. And it's no coincidence that the coach on all 3 of those teams was John Fox.
Wow.
And I remember, because the Winkie game, was here in Charlotte. I remember that game, and a lot of snaps, they were direct snapping into D'Angelo Williams. Winkie a lot of plays.
He should have got Winkie's check for the week. That's what he should have got.
All right, so let's get to the next question.
Hold on, I think my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. He was getting ready to say something.
What's that?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something. I thought I had interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No problem, man.
No. Next question from Justin of Above the Rim Podcast, Just Blaze, my man. Great show, by the way. Make sure you check that out. iTunes and iTunes and possibly SoundCloud. Anyway, his question, I guess, Kane, this would be for you, or we'll start with you. Are the Eagles now considered the class of the NFC? And second part, where do you rank Carson Wentz among other quarterbacks?
I won't say, and this is coming straight from an Eagles fan, I won't say we're the class of the NFC, but we're in the conversation. The reason I say that is we are thin in depth. So a couple of key injuries can derail this train pretty quickly. There's some other teams that are still threatening. Seattle still looks good. They're still in it. Let's see, you go up to the South. I mean, they're in shambles, so you don't know who really is going to come out of there. But lately, the last few weeks, the Saints don't look too bad down there.
Right.
So, I mean, you can't count them out. Even out west again, Seattle looking good. So, I mean, we're not in Dallas. I hate to say it. They're still going to be around at the end of the season. Even if Zeke doesn't get suspended, they're going to be okay. So I can't say we're the class, but we're definitely looking good with the best record in the league, and the best record in the NFC, going number of seasons to the playoffs right now. The second part of that, I think Carson Wentz is definitely in the conversation. I won't say he's up there with Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and those guys. But when you come up to that next level of quarterback, right below them, Carson Wentz is squarely in the conversation. I personally thought he was on his way last year. I think some key injuries again, kind of derailed the Eagles and derailed his development last year. Plus, he had a garbage. And you think the 49ers wide receivers were garbage? The Eagles wide receivers last year were straight garbage. I mean, so he had nobody to throw the ball to, no protection. So he kind of broke down about midseason, and he kind of regressed and kind of didn't develop anymore. Wow. What you're seeing right now is Carson Wentz with weapons. And I'm going to say right now, we don't even have the greatest weapons. I mean, we don't have a steady running game. We're piecing together Band-Aid, piecing, taping, duct tape, a running game together right now. So if we can get a consistent running back in free agency or the draft next year, and keep this wide receiver core intact with the offensive line, Carson Wentz can take that next step, especially when Drew Brees, Brady, and these guys are about to retire in a couple of years.
That's a good point. And also, I think last year when the Eagles kind of realized they were out of it, they just started throwing the ball all the time, I think trying to accelerate and get Carson Wentz more NFL throws because they realized he wasn't going anywhere this year.
He actually broke the NFL record for throws and completions for a rookie quarterback last year. So that lets you know how many times he actually just dropped back and threw the ball. So, we wore his arm out. We wore him up good last year. So, we're seeing the results of all of that experience that he got last year right now.
All right. So this next group of questions, we're going to start with Diego. And this is from our man Ben down in Dallas. Follow him on Twitter at BS3 Sports. All right, so Ben wants to know, what's the 49ers record going to be at the end of the season? Who's better, Wentz or Dak? Really? And what is the 49ers' future plans? Okay. And then, of course, throws in a dumb question. He is a Dallas fan. Do the Eagles want Nolan Carroll back? They didn't offer him a contract at the end of the season, so what's that tell you? All right, Ben. But anyway, let's get to it. What do you think San Francisco's record will be at the end of the season?
I came into the season with not, low expectations, obviously. We're in a smack dab in the start of a rebuild. So I figured 5-11 at best. I think we've missed a lot of opportunities here in these first 6 or 7 weeks to win some games. Last week, to me, was the first week we actually looked like an 0-17. The first 5 or 6 games, we lost after week 1, we lost the next 5 games by a total of 13 points. So we were in every game, but things like not executing in the red zone. We're the highest penalized team in the league. That hurts. So just those things kind of set you back. You don't get a third. You go from 30
finding ways to lose.
13, finding ways to lose. Exactly. So I looked at the schedule, remaining part of the season. I say we'll get maybe 3 games at the most. So I'm figuring 3-13 is probably where we'll end up. The future, obviously, we just kind of hinted at it a few moments ago. We've got to get a quarterback. You go nowhere in this league without one of those. So that's going to be the first thing. My next thing is to shore up the offensive line and get some weapons. Because the last several drafts, we've drafted a lot of defensive guys, especially along the defensive line in that front 7. Now, a lot of them are injured right now. I think we've got 10 first-round picks on IR right now. But that's the strength of the team right now. If you can say we've got a strength, it's the interior, that defensive line. I want to see Reuben Foster improve. Well, he's got to play some games and get stay on the field first. But Lynch and Shanahan, they were given 7-year deals, so they've got time. They've been given the time to be able to figure it out. So we can't get any worse. So 3-13. If I start to see some great things here at the end of the season, then I'll be happy. Even with the losses so far this season, outside of last week, I was still happy with what I saw because it shows that they're not just going to lay down and tank, that they are still fighting and playing hard. So I at least like to see that. It shows the heart and the character of a lot of those guys.
All right. So what's your prediction for this week? Now, keep in mind the Eagles did just lose 2 starters, and the Eagles are on a short week. So what's your prediction for this week's matchup in Philadelphia?
You guys should win this game pretty handily, honestly. If I take the homer part out of it, you guys should win this game handily. One of our weaknesses right now on defense are the corners. Go after Rashard Robinson. Go after him repeatedly. Trust me. If you don't get completions, you're going to get a flag. I mentioned the team being the highest most penalized team. He's the most penalized corner in the league. So I would definitely go after him. I'm expecting Torrey Smith to get a deep ball. Of course, old team, old regime.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. He did play for you, friend. That's right.
Right. Now, the running game, this may be a week that y'all can maybe get healthy, especially up the middle. We've lost a lot of interior linemen. Tank Carradine is out. Eric Armstead, he's on IR too. So you got a rookie in Solomon Thomas trying to hold down the middle, along with an older guy in Earl Mitchell. So I think LeGarrette Blount may get some daylight this week. 27-10.
What about you, Kane? What's your prediction for the week?
You know me, I'm always apprehensive with this kind of stuff, especially when the Eagles come off a good performance. I'm one of these guys that,
because you know the history of the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, I know we have these games, and then the next game, or a team that we're supposed to annihilate or just beat pretty easily, we struggle with. With that being said, I do think we just have an advantage just about everywhere on the field. I mean, I did watch the 49ers a couple of games. The secondary is a weak point. With our passing game now being the strength of the offense, what really, really has me excited for the matchup is Zach Ertz matched up on their safeties. So I'm really looking forward to that matchup, and I really believe Ertz can take a advantage of that. And also, I think we can take them deep. So if the threat is there, we should get the underneath stuff. If the threat over the top is enough to open up the middle of the field. On defense, their passing game is pretty non-existent. They do have Carlos Hyde still. I mean, I think he's still playing. I think he got dinged up a couple of weeks ago, but I think he's still playing right now. So Carlos, I mean, he is a good back. So I mean, he's better than average back. So you do have to keep the lanes closed. And with us running that wide 9 up front, there are some gaps there. So with Jordan Hicks being out as well, our middle linebacker, so that can play key if we can't get lined up in the correct formations to stop the run. But we need to keep the 49ers on the short side of the field, 3rd and long, where they're forced to pass. I think we should win this week pretty easily. I'm gonna go 31-10 that we pull away from them in the second and third quarter.
Okay. Yeah, mentioning Carlos Hyde, with the I think that is our one chance to keep this game competitive is pound the ball with him. I would give him at least 25 carries, trying to shorten the game because our linebackers, I don't think they're going to be able to cover Zach Ertz, and I think that will be a problem for us. I hope he does go off in a little bit because he's on one of my fantasy teams and my big money. But that is going to be a key matchup. That's going to be a key.
That's it.
What about you, Ice?
Pick of the week. I'm gonna go Aguilar because if the starting corners are that bad, Aguilar is playing against the third corner. He should be able to get some big plays. All right. So with all that said, I have a question. Who is the starting quarterback for San Francisco now?
C.J. Beathard, guy from he's a rookie from Iowa. I think we drafted him in the 3rd round. He's got some NFL pedigree. I want to say his grandfather is on the Redskins Ring of Honor or whatever their retirement system is. Yeah, so he's got some football pedigree. He's a tough kid. Got a lot to learn. He's got a little bit of potential, but his ceiling, it's like right here. So again, with really no weapons outside of Pierre Garçon, which he's a possession receiver, so that should be easy. Even with some injuries, you guys probably will bracket him, take him away, and force our tight end George Kittle, which is a teammate of Beathard from Iowa. Maybe get him in. Maybe we'll try to get him involved a little bit more, and maybe we'll try to sneak a deep ball to Marcus Goodwin in there. And if we sneak it in there, hopefully he'll catch it.
Well, like you said before, if Jalen Mills is on him, don't worry. You're probably going to get a pass interference anyway.
Looks like there's going to be a lot of flags in this game.
I certainly hope not.
We just need Fletcher Cox to do Fletcher Cox things, and then you won't have to worry about too many deep balls.
Yeah, you can just about guarantee that Jim Schwartz is going to dial it up and get some heat, especially with a rookie quarterback. He's going to see a variety of blitzes and zone blitzes. When we faking it, drop back off the line. He's going to see a variety of those this week. So he'll probably throw 1 or 2 picks as well, I'm hoping.
What was his name again? CJ
Beathard.
Okay. I've heard of my cousin CJ. I've heard of CJ from Baywatch. I've heard of let's see what else.
CJ McCollum on the Blazers.
Yeah.
That's about all I got.
Yeah. All right. I've never heard of CJ Beathard, and
yeah. Well, we'll hear about him this week for Sunday, and then that'll be it right there.
Yeah. If only the 49ers. If only there was a quarterback who maybe was from that area, maybe had taken them to the Super Bowl or something, who wasn't doing anything right about now. Out there that they could sign, probably a relative.
Does he have an afro?
Yeah, at times, yeah, or braids, yeah.
Kind of light skinned, pretty boy.
If only there was a guy like that, they could sign, as opposed to having a rookie from Iowa who probably wasn't even all conference. But anyway, hey, but at least he stays for the whole press conference, right, Cam Newton? All right, so let's move on.
You saw my tweet about Cam Newton today.
No, I didn't see that.
You see it? Okay, yeah, I tweeted that he sashayed out of another press conference.
Oh, I did. Okay, yeah. All right. The greatest tweet.
A dress, some heels, lipstick. Yeah.
He strolled out.
Yeah, the greatest tweet was the one when he made the comment about funny from a female. And
did he sound?
He sounded like a woman when he made the comment. That was hilarious. Yeah, we actually gave that tweet of the week that weekend. So anyway, all right. Let's get to it. Martavis Bryant has supposedly been demoted to the practice league because of social media activities. So do you guys think he'll be traded, or do you think it's kind of like a 1 week punishment thing?
I think it's a 1 week punishment thing. I think they'll make an example of him this week. He'll be back on the normal rotation, or at least he'll be back on the team next week. I'm not saying he's gonna get a lot of PT.
Right.
But the problem is when you're complaining about stuff, you're not focused on football. And when you're not focused on football, you have Juju passing you up. You got AB who's always going to demand the ball and is going to get the ball. So, if you're not –
throw the ball to Bell.
Yeah, and Bell's going to get his touches. So, I mean, you got to take advantage of the chances you get and shut your mouth and play football. Feel for the kids. I mean, he's really, really talented, but he's put himself in some bad situations with the suspension last year. And then, testing Mike Tomlin. If there's one coach in the league that you don't want to stand up and test, it would be Bill Belichick, followed closely seconded by Mike Tomlin. So, you pick the wrong guy to try to show up in public or in front of the media. So I think it'll be a one-game thing. He'll probably ride the pine or, get sparing time the rest of the year. But I don't think they'll just let him out of his misery and trade him for no reason.
Didn't he go to Clemson?
Yep, sure did.
So this explains poor decision making.
He definitely picked the wrong franchise to test. I mean, the Steelers are not somebody that you make demands to. They can show you better than they can tell you.
Right.
And I think it's very.
So in other words, you might get traded to Cleveland. That's what you're saying.
Well, they're not going. I don't think they're going to trade him before the deadline on Tuesday.
No, I don't think so.
But coming out complaining after 2 wins, just kind of shows a little bit of selfishness. I mean, from a competitive standpoint, a player, I get it. You want to be involved, what have you. But he also has to realize this is not the Pittsburgh Steelers teams of the last couple of years where they're throwing the ball around 40 and 50 times, and there's more opportunities for him. We saw these last couple of weeks when they're giving Le'Veon Bell the ball 30 times plus, that's their formula. That's going to be their new formula for winning. You don't want Ben, as he gets older, standing back there taking all those hits, trying to throw all these passes down the field. So Martavis Bryant, like you said, it's going to be a 1 week punishment. If I'm the Steelers, I make him go find whoever stole Juju's bike. That's the pass that I would put him on for the rest of the week, until he can get his mind right. And keep the girl off Twitter, please.
My gosh. All right.
Got the controller. Come on, Martavius. You know better than that, dog.
Just reel her in.
Yeah, well.
Just turn the internet off and just tell her you don't know what happened. The accountant didn't pay the bill.
Right.
Oh, boy. See what happened? Clemson and weed, not a good combination. Not a good combination at all.
No.
He was a hater.
UGA and weed is a bad combination. Athens must be the greatest thing on earth because they can't stay off of it down there.
Well, if you've ever been to Athens, there's absolutely nothing to do except for smoke weed.
I just need some more of them to get suspended before they play the Gamecocks. That's all I want.
Trust me, the second string can still show up and beat the Gamecocks, so don't worry about that.
Okay, see that was totally uncalled for. Totally uncalled for.
Hey, come on down. We can tailgate. We can go check it out.
All right. Hey, South Carolina's 5-2, so I don't want to hear any more of your yapping, Kane. All right, because you had
are 2 of those games against Division II teams?
Look up the record. Just look up the record. All right,
Well, look, I still know y'all got to play the Gators. You still got to play Georgia. You still got to play Clemson. That's 3 right there.
Okay. We'll beat Florida.
If you got 5 games left and 3 are losses, you do the math.
We'll beat Florida. Get that right, because Florida has no offense. And we're going to shock the world and defeat Clemson. Now, Georgia, I don't know about that one. We're going to beat Clemson. All right?
See,
remember our bet at the beginning of the year now.
I remember. I'll get you your ACC tickets if your boys win, the weakest division in college sports. Wait
a minute now.
But
really?
South Carolina will defeat, I'll put it on wax, South Carolina will defeat the Clemson Tigers. All right? Write it down. Take a picture. Save this video. Bookmark it. Whatever you got to do. But you'll see that I was right.
All right? Apparently there's a weed problem up there where Ice is at, too. Cause
no, I've not been hanging out with Martavis Bryant. No.
Hey,
what about Cam Newton?
Kane, let me ask you this. Being a Georgia fan, I'm very familiar with Mark Richt. At some point, are you afraid of Mark Richt going Mark Richt?
No, I don't think I think that's a misconception about him. He didn't win a lot of the big games, but I can't say he didn't put his teams in position to win those games. It's just sometimes the other team was just better than he was. Now, there was a couple other times where he did get out-coached and stuff, but that happens even to the best of coaches. I mean, just a couple at the beginning of the year, Urban Meyer got out-coached right there in Happy Valley by Oklahoma's brand new coach. So it happens every once in a while, but I don't think I think there's a big misconception about him. I mean, you're talking about a guy who was at Georgia, who won SEC championships, who won division championships, and contended for national championships. He was close a couple of times. So I really don't think it will go Mark Richt on us. And if he does, we'll discuss that then.
Y'all seem to be feeding him very well because it seems like he's picked up a couple pounds.
Hey, man, if you go down to South Beach and look around there, trust me, you'll pick up a few pounds too.
Or maybe lose some weight with some activity. But hey,
yeah, that might happen in South Beach. That don't happen in 5 points.
Here's the saving grace for Mark Richt is that in ACC the big game is like Duke or
No, the big games are coming up over the next couple of weekends. We got Virginia Tech. We've got a top 15 Virginia Tech coming to town. We've got a top 5 Notre Dame coming to town. So trust me, next couple of weeks we'll find out what we're made out of.
Convicts versus Catholics. Yeah.
Yep, Notre Dame, those dang old criminals. I don't know what you're gonna do with them.
Okay. All right, so let's go on. Speaking of ACC, of course, ACC known for basketball. I know Kane's a huge Tar Heel basketball fan. So I guess we had some recent news. Oh, got another Tar Heel basketball fan. All right, so your man, what's the guard's name?
Joel Berry.
Yeah. All right. So apparently, I'll let you tell the story. How did my man injure himself?
Apparently, Joel Berry and his roommate, who was also senior guard Theo Pinson, were playing video games. Joel Berry lost and punched the door and broke a bone in his hand. He's gonna miss 4. They said 4, 5, 6 weeks, somewhere around there. The season's just about to start, so he probably won't be back around till ACC play kicks up. This is not a good thing. This is kind of stupid. Roy Williams was just blown away that it happened. I can see Theo Pinson doing that. I just couldn't see Joel Berry doing that. I mean, because Theo Pinson, if you don't know, is this energy kind of loose, kind of crazy guy. Joel Berry doesn't strike me as that kind of guy, so I was kind of surprised when I heard it. But I'm really disappointed that it did happen because it's going to cost us the whole first quarter of the schedule before we get to ACC play. We're going to be down not only our starting senior point guard, but the most outstanding player of the Final Four. Basically, the best player on the team is not going to be there for the first quarter of the season. Dumb. That's a stupid thing.
Oh, hold on. Breaking news. Sorry, guys. Breaking news. Since he broke his hand, the 76ers are trying to draft him right now. It's amazing. It's amazing. So he's shooting up draft boards as we speak, based on a broken hand. So I hope he likes cheesesteaks. All right. So anyway, all right. Let's get to it. Let's remind everybody one more time, Diego. Where can they find you and your man? Can't forget Uncle Hate. Gotta get back on.
Uncle Hate stays hating.
Change that avatar for a week. Shout out. So I'm following through, but
yeah, we again, you guys can find us on YouTube. Check us out at AA Sports, Straight Sports No Chaser on YouTube. Remember to watch, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, co-workers, the motherboard at church, whoever is into sports. Make sure you share that.
Your baby mamas, your wives, your side pieces, whatever. Right.
Everybody. Also, check us out if you can't watch. Check us out on the go. Check us out on the Spreaker app. We are Spreaker at AA Sports as well. And then you can always catch us on Facebook, IG, and Twitter at AA Sportscast. Myself individually at Diego Barish. And my other half of the team, Uncle Hate, you can reach him at Rike6000. I'm trying to get him to change his Twitter name to something that fits his character.
Get him to change it like Cam's Romper or
Pink hats and capris.
Nah, yeah, y'all trying to get me cussed out. I don't think he's gonna do that.
That'd be the bet. If we play them again next year, we have to make that bet.
You gotta dress like Cam Newton at his next press conference.
Woo.
Hey, who knows? Maybe you guys get a rematch in the playoffs.
Not the way they're playing lately.
Don't think so.
Hey,
don't think so.
You know the funny thing? Everybody gave Cam trouble about dressing like Rollo from Sanford Son. But at least that outfit came from the men's section. I know what I mean? It's a lot better than a lot of that stuff he's been wearing.
Yeah, I mean, if Rollo can wear it, then Cam can wear it because, Rollo is a straight-up G. So, So big shout out Rollo, big shout out Cam. His designer hit the head. He hit the nail on the head this week.
Well, Rollo was known for what? Stealing. Cam stole that laptop. I'm just saying. All right, so want everybody make sure you follow AA Sportscast, all right, and check out the show. We're gonna hopefully try to get them on more often or do some more stuff together. Hopefully, make some things happen. But
absolutely.
Yeah, we hope everybody has a great week. We appreciate you tuning in. Give us that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you come back next week and keep hanging out with us. All right.
All right, go Niners, trap game.
Yeah.
And if y'all lose to us, you're not gonna hear the end.
If we lose you, there ain't gonna be no show next week. I promise you that.
No. It's gonna be. All right, y'all. We out.
All right, man. Y'all be easy, man.